Choosing keywords is one of the most important things to get right with any internet marketing. Whether you're doing SEO, pay-per-click, it really doesn't matter, but we're focusing on SEO, and keywords is absolutely paramount to success. So it's important to spend a lot of time picking the right keywords, because it will save you a lot of heartache later if you chose good keywords in the beginning. And ultimately you'll make more money when you understand keywords and how to choose the best type of keywords for your websites. So in this video we're going to look at how to do this. The first thing you need to consider is the search volume. It's the most obvious thing is how many people are actually typing in this keyword phrase into Google every month. So I have a ballpark figure of about 1,000 searches a month in Google on an exact match is what I'm looking for, and I don't really go anything under that. I will show you some examples of the Google keyword tool and what exact match means in just a moment. But before we move on and show examples, I want to talk around the concept of a buyer keyword. Now, buyer keywords are keywords where the person that's typing them into Google has shown some sort of indication to buy something. They're in a buying mode. They're ready to buy something. Opposed to somebody who's in an information-seeking mode who really isn't interested in buying anything. They're just sort of having a look around the internet for information, educational things. So they don't really want to spend money. So different types of keywords have more buyer intent behind them. The type of keywords that you want to be targeting for your websites really should be ones with buyer intent. Classic examples of a buyer keyword are product names. When somebody types in a product name into Google, that has a lot of commercial or buyer intent. They mean the same thing because it's a very specific keyword phrase. They've typed in a product name opposed to just typing in something like car navigation system. That's quite general. Whereas if somebody typed in Garmin Nuvi or something 265, then that's very specific. That is a product name and a very specific one at that. So when people start getting specific with the types of phrases they type into a search engine like Google, they're more than likely done their research and they've narrowed down what they're looking for, and that's when they go back to Google and type in that exact product name. Product names are not the only buyer keywords though. Other examples of buyer keywords are where there's a problem. Somebody might type in how to get rid of acne, how to learn Spanish, or how to cure arthritis. All of these types of things need a solution to them, hence why they've got the word how to in the phrase. Or anything where there's an urgency like stop dog barking. People are more willing to spend money on products when there's some sort of a problem, there's some sort of an urgency attached to it. So they also are very good buyer keywords that I recommend you start to think about when you're planning out what content that you will build on your websites. So just keep that in mind. A lot of it is common sense. Just think, is this somebody that's indicating they're looking to buy a solution to a need, or is it just an information seeker looking for research or educational material about the topic? The PPC price of a keyword is also a good indication of how profitable a keyword might be. If the pay-per-click price of the keyword's relatively high, like above $1, at least above $1, then it shows that there's money being spent in that niche on that keyword. And if people are willing to spend money on advertising for a keyword, it's not a bad indication to go after a keyword like that for search engine optimization, of course, where you won't pay Google for the traffic. And we'll look at examples of this in a moment, but just keep in mind the PPC price of a keyword is also another good indication. We're going to look at the Google Keyword Tool. It's a free tool that most of you will be aware of. If you haven't heard of it before, not to worry, we're about to go there and have a look at it. And I'll take you through how to look at buyer keywords and how to look up search volume and all the things that we've talked about so far. Okay, so we're over at the Google Keyword Tool, and to find this, just simply go to Google and type in Google Keyword Tool. Pretty straightforward. And then most of you will know how to use this, but again, you just type in the phrase. So I could just type in any phrase that you're thinking of targeting, and then you just fill in the captcha code here and click search. Now remember to set the location here. Google by default has put this in the United Kingdom for me, although I live in Australia. I'm not sure why they do that, but hit that drop down box and go to United States. You can target different countries, but just remember the local domain extension for the United States are the classic ones are the .com, .net, .org. They're all United States extensions. They're going to rank better in the United States. If you go after a .co.uk or a .org.uk, they're going to rank better in the UK. It's just as simple as known fact. I mean, I do that. I purposely target the UK on some of my websites for that very reason. But for now, let's just say you're trying to rank in the United States. And by the way, you can, by default, pick up traffic from other countries like Australia and the United Kingdom when you're doing your SEO for the United States. By default, you're going to get traffic and you're going to rank in these other Googles around the world. But what I do and what I teach people to do is just stick locally and look at what your local domain extension would get. So I set it to the United States, and down the left hand side I uncheck broad and I check exact. I want an exact match, and I won't go into detail about what an exact or phrase or a broad match is, because that's really beginning stuff with keywords, and it only takes about 30 seconds to go to Google and do a little bit of research to get up to speed. But all I'll say is the exact match is the most accurate match. It's exactly the volume that people are typing in each month into Google. So if we look at the results here, insurance is obviously a huge keyword, and you need to have a plan for a couple of years probably to rank for insurance, because it's so highly competitive. But anyway, let's just look at insurance. You can see here in America, which is the local monthly searches, it gets about 60,000 searches every single month, which is pretty high search volume. So that's how you find the search volume. What I said earlier is I usually aim for nothing less than 1,000. I like to go higher than 1,000, but there's some good money to be made out of a keyword that's got an 1,000 exact match in Google. I don't tend to go too much under 1,000. I'd like to see at least 1,000 in the local market. Remember, I'm not looking at the global market. I'm just looking at if I ranked in America, Google America, for this particular phrase, how many people are searching for it. So I look for an exact match of at least 1,000. The next thing you want to do is go over to the Google Traffic Estimator. And again, to find this, just go and type into Google Traffic Estimator, and you will find this site. It looks very similar to the Google Keyword Tool, as you can see, but they're not the same tool. So what I want to do at the Google Traffic Estimator is, again, I'm going to set it to America because it's defaulting to the United Kingdom. So location, just set it to America for now. So you can just go North American Bundle, that's fine. So, oh no, actually I don't want North American Bundle, I want United States and Canada. I don't even want, yeah, that's fine, I don't want the United Kingdom. Take that out. Okay, save. So I'm just targeting America now. Technically that should have resorted not to be in pounds, but for some reason Google does some strange things and they've got it still in pounds up there. So anyway, let's just carry on with the example. I put my keyword phrase in here, and again I fill out the captcha code, which seems to be getting more difficult with Google now that I'm doing a sort of a mirrored captcha code. Anyway, oh whoops, I forgot to fill in my values. So up here, when I put in my maximum cost per click, I'm going to put in something like £5 and a daily budget of 100. That's what I put in, and then I estimate. And so just remember, this is showing it in pounds, so you just have to remember that's not the same as US dollars. That's about $6.50 in the US dollars, or maybe $7. No, probably about $6.50, $6.80. So just remember that for some reason Google is doing something strange, and they're only showing it in British pounds, although we do have it set to the United States. Don't ask me why. Anyway, it doesn't matter because we still get the same result. So what I'm looking at here is the keyword phrase is there. The estimated ad position is 2.11. So basically, I just try and get myself into position 3 and see how much I would have to pay for that. And so I'll drop down my maximum cost per click to like £2 and see if it drops me out of position 3. Yeah, it does. So to get into position 3, I'm going to have to be paying about £2.50, which is a pretty expensive keyword. Yeah, it's even more than that actually. It's probably £2.80, which is probably about $4 American. Yeah, let's just put it up to £3. I thought it went way over when I hit £3, but if you look at the estimated position here, so it's over £3 to pay per click for the keyword insurance to get at the top of right at the top of Google to position 3. So if you're doing SEO, you're obviously not paying anything per your click, which is the great thing about SEO. It's free traffic, but you get an idea of how important and how much value there is in that keyword by looking at what people would have to pay per click. So just imagine how amazing that traffic's going to be if there's it's got a huge search volume of 60,000 a month, and you have to pay, say, in American dollars, it's say $4.50 every single click that you get. So you can see there's a lot of money in that keyword. So that gives you an idea when you're looking for keywords in Google to see if it's worth going after. So if we go after something that's maybe a little bit less competitive, like let's go for something along the lines of how to learn. Actually, let's go for learn French online, like that. And we'll get the search volume. It's fourth good search volume. In America, it's got 4,400, so there's a decent amount of people searching for it, which is a good sign. And if I go to the traffic estimator tool, and we just replace insurance with that phrase, we'll leave it at £3. Always leave the daily budget to 100, because basically you're just trying to use this as a comparison to see how much position 3 would cost you. So this one, position 3 is going to get us, £3 is going to get us position 1.8, which is a bit higher. So let's drop it down to £2. And we're almost, it's cheaper than paying for the insurance keyword, which, as you would imagine it would be. But it's still pretty expensive keyword, really. It's £1.80, which is about $2.50 American. So that's pretty good. So what I look for in a good keyword is one that's got over 1,000 on the exact match search. It's at least $1 on the cost per click. So these ones I've just shown in their example are way over, and that's to get to the top 3. I just go for how much position 3 is going to cost me. You can go for how much position 1 is going to cost you, just as long as you keep it the same each time, so you get a good comparison of all your keywords. So that shows me that there's good money in this keyword if people are willing to pay that much for it, and there's a good search volume in the keyword. So the only other thing you need to think about is commercial intent. So if someone's typing this into Google, are they interested in buying a course on how to learn French online? And I'd possibly say a large amount of them are. You can't be certain that 100% of them are, because they still might be looking for free learn French online lessons. We can't totally tell from that keyword, but it still has quite a lot of intent behind that keyword. A keyword that would have a low commercial intent would be something just like if someone just put in French like that into Google. There's not enough information that they're telling us what they want or what their intention is. But when they're saying learn French, they've now added some intention behind the keyword. They want to learn it, and they want to learn it online, so it's getting more specific. So the more specific a keyword is, where they tell us their intention through the words that they use, the better a keyword becomes, and the more commercial intent the keyword has. So some keywords that don't have a lot of commercial intent are free French lessons or something like that. They're obviously not really wanting to pay anything, so I would consider that low commercial intent. Although you can convince people, once you give them a free trial of something, to maybe want to pay for it after that. But again, you just have to be aware of using common sense. This is the keyword phrase you're targeting. Buy a keyword phrase. Is there enough evidence in the keywords that they're typing in to indicate that they're interested in buying something? Because you really want to build your site on keywords that have commercial intent. And again, just to recap, that also have a decent amount of cost per click, which is I go for $1 American. And then on the Google Keyword Tool, have at least 1,000 in the local market on an exact match when you're looking at it. And again, this keyword does. So that's basically what you want to think about when you're initially doing your keyword research. And the next step that we'll look at will be the SEO competition for that keyword, because once you've got keywords that meet this criteria, you then need to move on and analyze how competitive that keyword is for getting to the top of Google. And you need to make a decision of whether it's worth your time and your SEO efforts to go after that keyword for the reward that it will give you. So you make a decision based on sort of work needed to get to the top, reward that you'll get when you get there. And that's one of the next biggest things that you need to understand about SEO and keywords. So that's all for this video. Thanks so much, and on to the next one.